morning and welcome. My name is Natalie Barella. I'm with our Tempe Police Department Media Relations Unit. On behalf of Chief Glover and the Tempe Police Department, we'd like to welcome you to Police Week Memorial Ceremony. Special thank you to Vice Mayor Keating, who's here today, incoming City Council Member Adetta Hodge, Arlene Chin, and Councilman Lauren Kuby. To all the families of our fallen officers, thank you very much for being here this morning. Our backdrop this morning is the Public Safety Memorial, and this memorial serves as a place where families and the community can come together and honor our fallen officers. So again, thank you for being here. I'd like to welcome Tempe Police Chaplain Kenny Porter to come on up.
Gracious Father, the creator of all that we enjoy, we come to you this morning at the beginning of a week because we are a forgetful people. We get busy in our lives. We get busy in being busy. But this morning we want to take a few moments to remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. We read that some people will even lay down their lives for a friend, and yet the officers of our police departments are called to do that sometimes, and they don't even know the people that they're serving. But Father, I thank you that in your grace and in your goodness, even in the midst of the sorrow and the pain and the suffering, you can comfort us. So this morning I would ask for some of that comfort as these lives are remembered. You will be with those loved ones who perhaps have this scab removed again, but help us to remember that you are the God of grace and comfort and peace, even in the midst of the mess that we live in. Thank you that we have this opportunity. I thank you for the men and women who have given their lives, even those who will do that today, for our protection, and because they have a desire to serve their fellow human beings. So I would ask for your special blessing upon those family members that are here, that are remembering in the grief and sorrow. And you would also give comfort and courage and perseverance to those who will put the uniform on this day. So I would ask for your blessing upon the words that are spoken, that they will provide some comfort as we gather together. For it is in your name that I pray. Amen.
Policing in the city of Tempe started with one town marshal in 1895. Today, we have 343 officers protecting our community. Since 1895, we have tragically lost 6 officers and 3 canines in the line of duty. Night Officer Albert Nettle, end of watch, May 18th, 1919. Marshal Cyrus Spangler, end of watch, January 11th, 1921. Lieutenant John Eaton Bradshaw, end of watch, September 20th, 1987. Officer Robert Lyle Hawk, end of watch, September 24th, 1988. Officer Kevin Luis Weeks, end of watch, September 28th, 2006. Detective Russell Elden Welker, end of watch, May 15th, 2009. K9 Murph, end of watch, November 21st, 1986. K9 Baloo, end of watch, July 1st, 2008. K9 Deuce, end of watch, October 29th, 2014. May they rest in peace.
Thank you, everyone gathered here today as we remember and respect our fallen. As we remember and give respect and recommit to being here for one another. As our fallen brothers, we're here for our community as they are for us. Chaplain, thank you for this morning's invocation and your many years of service and friendship, for always coming to our side when we need a shoulder to lean on and our prayers to help lift us up. Tempe Police Honor Guard and Bandpipe members, brothers and sisters, thank you for all the nights that you practice and drill and go above and beyond in your daily duties. For all the times you have risen before the sun, and you are the ones who represent so powerfully our solemn respect, compassion, condolences to the families that are lost and their loved ones. It's a humbling and profound duty to stand here before you, to speak words and I hope convey our love and support to the families and friends of our Tempe Police fallen officers. Today we honor the Tempe officers who died in the line of duty over the course of 100 years, a century, who died protecting our community and their fellow officers. We will never forget our beloved colleagues, friends, and brothers. Detective Russell Welker, End of Watch, May 15, 2009. Officer Kevin Weeks, September 28, 2006. Officer Robert Hawk, September 24, 1988. Lieutenant John Bradshaw, September 20th, 1987. Night Marshal Cyrus Spangler, January 11th, 1921. And Officer Albert Nettle, May 18th, 1919. We have K-9 officers Deuce, Baloo, and Murph, all who gave their lives to protect ours. We come together as a living memorial, a legacy, a remembrance of our family. And we come together as we are given a gift of grace, an opportunity to reflect on who we are as individuals and as family, and to recommit to showing up and being there for one another. This is in the good times and the bad, on the job and off. Tempe Police employees are dedicated to the same end of work, long days and nights to protect lives and serve as living models of good and righteous law. We are daily reminded of our precious and precarious our lives and our democracy can be. Our families know too well the dangers inherent to this profession. Sometimes the dangers and risk from violence and assault on our patrol officers. This year, so far, 88 officers have died in the line of duty across the United States. Some of the dangers and risks to our employees are less visible, but nevertheless, very clear and present danger. We know our nation is facing a mental health crisis across the land. Tempe Police employees work day in and day out for years with people and families experiencing pain and suffering. We know our peer support team knows all too well the toll and the cumulative stress that it takes on those that are helping in this profession. If you are carrying a heavy load, you're not alone. If you are carrying a heavy load, you do not have to carry it alone. This is, after all, what we do. And this is what we are about. And we remember and we respect. Tempe Police 911 communications professionals and officers handle 12,000 calls every month. 12,000 desperate calls for help every month. Child drownings, students involved in fatal collisions, assaults, suicide, overdose, deaths, domestic violence, and homicides. Protecting our community and doing our job requires immense fortitude, discipline, energy, and integrity to withstand aggressive provocation by some whose very rights you are protecting. We are ever mindful of this obligation, and beyond that, to extend a helping hand to those goes beyond the letter of the law to each of us being models of the spirit of the law. along with Tempe firefighters, Care 7, and Hope Team, all of our city colleagues, we embrace our duty to protect and serve, treating all of those we come in contact with dignity and respect and compassion. Today across our nation, so many challenges have led to increased polarization and divisiveness within our organizations, our communities, and sometimes within our own families. Facing these challenges with humbleness and empathy is key to us maintaining the historic tradition of true community policing. We know it is imperative that police at all times strive to be trustworthy, to maintain a strong relationship with the public, and that gives us the reality to that historic tradition that police are the public and the public are police. We count on the support of our community, and we need the support of our community. And we are clear about this. We simply cannot serve and protect successfully without it. We hold ourselves accountable for good actions, and we ask that Tempe also hold us accountable for good action. And we are the community as well, and we attend the same schools, the same coffee shops, the same churches. We seek one another's support, patience, and sometimes forgiveness, to work towards understanding and accepting one another with all of our faults and all of our gifts and all of our humanity, so that we can show up for each other. Our fellow officers sacrificed their lives to protect us and our community over the course of the past century, and we will not forget. The best way we can honor the sacrifices is to conduct our lives as a living legacy, as a tribute to the officers who died this past century, and as a model for those who follow us over the next 100 years. We will live and serve each other and our community as Russ and Kevin and Robert and John, Cyrus and Albert lived and served, as they would expect, and if they were here now, would ask of us to do. I'd like to call up Vice Mayor Keating.
Good morning, everybody. It's my honor and pleasure to be here today to kick off Peace Officer Memorial Week here in Tempe, Arizona. When I was asked to do this, I wanted to speak to what it means to me as an average citizen to be in the presence of police officers and work with police officers in my day-to-day job. As a science nerd, scientists like to look for the most elegant solution to a problem, something that can answer a lot of questions in the least amount of space. E equals MC squared, for example, is 4 characters but describes so much of our universe. So I started to look at what is the most elegant way to describe what it is to be a police officer to someone who is not a police officer. And I came back time and time again to a 4,000-year-old text. Literally the first time we codified the rule of law in our civilization, Hammurabi's Code. In the preamble it says, "The purpose of this document is to bring forth the rule of righteousness across the land, to vanquish the wicked and the evildoers, so that the strong may not harm the weak, to enlighten the land for the well-being of all humankind." To me, that fundamentally speaks to what the call to service is for public safety, to sacrifice of yourself, to give of your time with your family, time with your friends, a stressful job, a stressful political environment certainly, and maybe, hopefully never again, your life. That call to service, as Hammurabi showed us 4,000 years ago, is as fundamentally ingrained in our species and our society as any other. As the rest of society moves forward, we come to new solutions and new things, but the deepest explanation, to me at least, to a common person, one who's never been asked to serve in a way that most folks here have and currently are, is 4,000 years old. And it's so fundamental to our society. I would like to thank you all. I'm here to read a proclamation, and we're here to remember those that we have lost and honor those that continue to this day to serve. I would like to thank you all on behalf of the mayor and the city council and a grateful city for being the thin blue line of which our civilization has been built and without which our great city could not exist. So with that, I will read this proclamation in honor of all those that we have lost. Whereas, as a nation, we honor the memory and sacrifice of fallen law enforcement officers during Peace Officer Memorial Week, so dedicated by President John F. Kennedy in 1962. And whereas, Tempe police officers and their family members, Tempe police officers and their families are members of the community, striving to earn trust, build partnerships, and keep the peace, protect lives, public safety and property, uphold the U.S. Constitution, and respect the rights of with all whom they engage. And whereas Tempe Police responded to 144,120 calls for service in 2021, over 12,000 calls each month. And whereas the first known line of duty death in 1791, over 22,000 law enforcement officers have made the ultimate sacrifice, according to the National Law Enforcement Memorial Fund. And whereas the public and quality of life of our community depends in great measure on the dedication, capability, compassion, and daily service of Tempe police officers. Now, therefore, I, Randy Keating, Vice Mayor of the City of Tempe, on behalf of Corey D. Woods, Mayor of the City of Tempe, do declare May 19th through 15th, 2022, National Peace Officer Memorial and National Police Week here in Tempe, Arizona. Thank you.
On behalf of the Tempe Police Department and Chief Glover, we would like to thank everyone for coming out here to remember and honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice. In closing, we hope that you have a wonderful day. Enjoy some donuts and coffee that are here. And again, we just thank everyone for spending the time and coming out to be with us.